In a previous video, and I'll link it below, I showed a small survival kit that I put together. And I talked about how in photography there's a saying, and I'm a photographer, that the best camera is a camera you have with you. And the idea behind the small survival kit was for it to be small enough that it could go in a pocket or could easily be added to a camera bag or camera backpack. If you go out in the woods hiking anywhere, you should have some basic survival stuff with you. This is a much larger survival kit. And the downside to this is, you're not going to put this in a pocket. You have to make a very conscious decision to bring this with you. You have to have space to put it, to bring it with you. But it is a much more capable kit. The other kit is very limited in terms of what it can do, what kind of shelter it has and things like that. This kit, larger, more capable. I forget exactly what Maxpedition bag this is, but I will figure it out and I will put it in the comments. I don't know if this is the beefy or the chubby or the fatty or what, but it's one of those. It's a bigger one. It's got this label on here, large survival kit. That you can get these labels off of Amazon. They'll customize them to whatever you want. And I will have links to everything down below. They are not affiliate links. It's just for your convenience to help you find everything. Because, sometimes I watch these videos on YouTube and I can't find the stuff the guy's talking about, and it's really kind of annoying. So when you're in a survival situation, there is a rule of threes. You can go 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. So your number one priority, the first thing you have to worry about, is shelter. Now, obviously that depends on the weather. If it's 80 degrees out in the summertime and, you're not going to die in 3 hours without shelter. But if it's a really severe winter storm, you might. So if we look at this, I think it's back here. We'll start with, this is a emergency bag. And basically it's kind of a space blanket that's a bag that you crawl into and you are immediately out of the rain. It blocks the wind. It reflects heat back at you. A lot of times they talk about these things and how they reflect like 90 some odd % of your heat back at you. And that may be true, but most of your heat loss is not actually from radiant heat, which is what this reflects back. But still, assuming you're dressed for the weather, you crawl inside this, it's going to keep you dry, it's going to keep you out of the wind, and it could make a very, very significant difference in terms of your survival. Also, if you're hiking around, here's a rain poncho. And, this would let you travel in the rain. You could also use this with this to, provide a little bit more coverage, or try to improvise some kind of a shelter. So that's that's that piece. Then also over here, if you're building a shelter, it's good to have cordage. And this is 550 paracord, but this is something called survivor cord. This has 3 extra strands in it. One of them is a cotton strand, which you can use for kindling to light a fire. One is a monofilament fishing line you can use for fishing. And one of them is a snare wire that you can use to create a trap or a snare to snare animals. So this is a multi-use item. I really like multi-use items. So that's sort of your capabilities when it comes to shelter. For 3 days without water, so water is your next priority. This is a Sawyer water filter. You can filter, thousands of gallons with this, and this will clean out bacteria. It will clean out Giardia and Cytospora and things like that can cause waterborne illness. This is the water bottle to use with this. This screws onto here, and you can put water in here and squeeze it out through the filter. This is a water bag, so you could squeeze your clean water into here. And so that gives you the capability to make clean water. Also in here, this is a couple of packs, hydration multiplier. These are basically electrolytes, and they add strawberry flavor. So you can make a flavored drink with this, and you know, it will replace your electrolytes. If you're sweating heavily and drinking a lot of water, you can actually deplete the electrolytes in your body, and it can be life-threatening in very, very hot climates. So having something like this can be really important. You can go 3 weeks without food. You're probably not going to want to survive for 3 weeks off of this kit. You might be able to, but you're probably not going to want to. But there's actually got some food in here. This is a 400-calorie bar. This is good for, I forget exactly how long. These last for several years, the storage life on these. Because that's the problem. A lot of foods that you can put in these. Yeah, so this expires in this expires in July of 2025. All right, it's 2023 right now. And these have been in here for probably a year or so. And actually, the date of manufacture on this was July 2020. So they're good for 5 years. I should have known that, sorry. Also, a couple of Cliff, you know, gels, 100 calories in each of these, a little bit more energy. So, you know, you've got 8, 9, 10, you've got 1,000 calories of food here to, you know, help you get through the day. Next up, for fire, we have a Bic lighter. This is a Bic lighter. This is not a no-name, no-brand disposable lighter. This is a Bic lighter. And the reason it's a Bic lighter is it's better made. Take a no-name disposable lighter, run it through your dryer. It's probably going to explode in the dryer. This can run through the dryer, and it's probably not going to explode in the dryer because it's better built, better engineered. Another way to make fire, you can make sparks with this ferro rod on the edge of this. And this is magnesium, and you can scrape these off and use it to help get the fire going. Not going to demonstrate it here because I don't want sparks flying around my third floor with carpet on the floor and set the floor on fire. Flashlight. This is a zebra light. It's water resistant. It's, you know, you can drop this a fairly far distance, have it be okay. It's got a clip on it. You can clip it onto yourself. And this is a headband, so you can use this as a headlamp. And I believe, yes, in here we have a spare battery for it. I want to point out, I see people do these survival kits and they talk about, and they're like, oh yeah, and this is just a, you know, regular alkaline battery. No. This kit has hundreds of dollars of gear in it. Why would I put a cheap battery in here? This is a lithium battery, which is lighter, lasts longer in storage, and puts out more energy and lasts longer in use. I just talked about fire. I'm going to go back to fire for a minute. This is some tinder, live fire tinder. And also, this is an expanding bellows. You put this down into the fire and you blow on one end, and you can use that to help fan the fire and get your flame going. Got a little Write in the Rain pad, and this is a Write in the Rain pen. So if you take some notes, write something down. Got a nice little compass here. This is a liquid-filled compass. It's a real compass. This is the survival tool in this kit. This is a Leatherman, and I'm drawing a blank. Oh, there it is. This is a Leatherman Signal. This is their survival tool version of the Leatherman tool. You have pliers. These are pliers with a replaceable wire cutter element. But this tool has specific things for survival. There is a sharpening tool right here that pops out for sharpening your knife. There is a whistle built into this. There is, probably not the, it's probably not the main sharpener you want to use, but it's got that. It's got a little ferro rod on here, so you can strike on here and start a fire. Again, probably not your primary way of making a fire, but it gives you a backup to the lighter and the ferro rod that I just showed you. And it's got a bottle or a can opener, bottle opener capability. It's got a little bit kit on here. Not sure how important that is out in the woods, but the fact that this is a backup to your signal whistle, and there's a signal whistle over here, by the way, because if you're trying to get found when you're in the woods, a whistle is a lot better than yelling, a lot less taxing. Got a backup to your sharpening tool. This is a sharpening tool, keep your blade sharp. Ferro rod backs up your ferro rod, backs up your lighter. So you've got 3 ways to make fire. You've got, again, there's a whistle on here. There is, ferro rod on here. So it backs up a lot of redundancy to the other things in the kit. Also back here, water purification tablets. So if your filter gets clogged, you could use these in that, we've got the water bag. Water doesn't taste very good if you put these in it, but, if you add this and strawberry flavor it, you're probably not going to notice. This is a little fishing kit. People tend to kind of overestimate the usefulness of these fishing kits. The chances that you're really going to catch a lot of fish and feed yourself are probably not as high as you would like them to be, but it's a good thing to have. It can help. This is a little repair tape. This is gear tape. If the poncho or the sleeping bag rips, use this to repair it. Your jacket rips and it's a down jacket and the down's coming out, use it to repair it or keep water and wind out of it. And this is a survival bandana. It's got, some survival advice printed on it, and you can use it to mop your brow, you can use it to keep yourself out of the sun, do a whole bunch of things like that. Little signal mirror, a Fresnel lens. I can't read anything without my reading glasses. If I lost my reading glasses, I could use this to read. You can use it to start a fire as another way of starting fires. So you have, 4 ways to make fire. And a little tin foil, which you could use to make a makeshift pot or wrap something up you were cooking if you got some game or some fish or something like that. More water purification tablets. And that's it. So, very capable kit. Ability to create shelter, multiple ways to create safe to drink water. You do need to make sure, don't be dipping water from a stream right next to a road, because the road runoff is not something that filter is going to remove. Don't take water from a stream or pond right near a farm where there might be fertilizer in the water, because it's not going to remove that. But if you're somewhere off in the woods away from everything, and the only thing you need to worry about in the water are, bacteria and various protozoas and things like that, biological things, then that's gonna work well for you, both the purification tablets or the filter. Multiple ways to make fire. Some food. So for the first couple of days, it give you a little bit of extra energy and take care of things. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. I've made quite a few EDC survival kit kind of videos lately, and I'm going to probably do some tool bag videos and some other things like that in the future. So thank you.